Welcome members and supporters to another episode of the Rabbitohs Insider. This week we delve deep behind the scenes into the highs and lows of the final few rounds of football in the latest episode of our documentary series, Glory Bound. But first, let's hear from Mark Ellison and John Sutton in this week's Playmakers segment, brought to you by Zoom Video Communications.
Hello once again to everybody to the Playmakers this week, brought to us by our great friends at Zoom Video Communications. Joining us once again, as he always does, is one of the legends of our great club, John Sutton. How are you, Johnny?
I'm good, Marcus. How are you?
Yeah, can't complain, mate. Can't complain. What a magnificent victory on the weekend for the young guns of the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, it was. You know, we had some young players in there. Lockie on debut. The boys really stepped up and got a good victory. You know, Nico leading the boys out, and it was a great game for, you know, Nico himself being captain and the young boys coming in and stepping up.
Yeah, he went really well, and it started during the week, Sut, just in the team meetings when Nico was announced as captain. You could just tell there was a good vibe. There's been a great vibe up here amongst the group, as I've spoken about many times. So for us internally, it wasn't a surprise to see how well they performed.
Yeah, I was always confident that, you know, the boys would go out there and get the job done. Obviously, they've been training all year most of them against the first grade, and they all knew their roles, and you know, they perfected it for, you know, most of the game.
Yeah, they did, and you know, there were 4 development players out of our squad in that team, and you know, the percentage of our salary cap that didn't play is amazing. Okay, and we talked to the great work of Junior Totola, Mark Nichols, Big Tao Mogo making his debut for the club, Paddy Mago, Jed Cartwright. I probably obviously missed some here and there, and Campbell Graham's game too was outstanding.
Yeah, Stretch is getting back to career best form. I think his defence is second to none out there. He really keeps his opposition centre to, you know, no yards, and really stamps his mark on them. So, yeah, Stretch has just gone from strength to strength.
I agree with you there, mate. He's had a few little hiccups throughout the year. Had that bit of a concussion that set him back. He had a limited off-season with training-wise, but I think he's just about to peak.
Yeah, I reckon he is too. He's probably one of the best defensive centres in the game. And, you know, he's tall and rangy, so he scored a couple of meat pies as well, which was good to see.
Yeah, it was good. And the other thing for me was good, you know, the spine we had there, the 3 great mates, the 3 amigos, as a lot of them call them, and then the old master of Benji there, helping them to get through it. Well, it was great for Benji to be able to help those kids along in such an important game for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, Benji was great. His kicking game was awesome pretty much all night, but it really set the tone in that first half, and he was kicking to the corners and the boys were bashing him in defence. Yeah, it was an all-around great performance. Yeah,
the boys. Wade made reference to it in the team meeting that nobody came in and just played like individuals. They all played to the process that we want to play to, and because we completed so highly, it helped us in the end, because a lot of those guys haven't played football for ages, you know, and by completing it kept our juice.
Yeah, that's another thing. Obviously, there hasn't been a reserve grade, and yeah, it would have been most of the boys, you know, first time playing this year. You know, Tao in the first grade. So, no, it was a great performance. You know, obviously the 3 amigos have played a lot of, you know, under-20s footy together, and it was great to see them step up in first grade and do a great job.
Yeah, it was, and it just shows that, you know, we've you know, the future of the club looks bright with those guys coming through. You know, we've got a great squad together still at the moment that's going to go on with this season. But, you know, as we move forward, to keep that consistency for us in the top 4 and that, you know, we need those young guys coming through. And what happened on the weekend showed us that, you know, potentially can do it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the future is bright here at South, but I think, you know, going into the semis, you know, they're going to have a role to play. You know, Taffy, you know, never know, Lockie might get another start. So, obviously, they'll just keep working hard, keep learning off Benj and Cody, and you never know, we might need them.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, mate. And that's one thing they're all keen to do. They're all keen to learn about. As you said, some great teachers there. We've got Latrell's helping Taff out this week. Got Reno and Benji and Katie being great for the halves. Cookie there with Pete. And what about Pete Mamazoulis? 50 tackles in 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously he's not the biggest guy, so they're going to pick him out in defence. And, he held his own. Made some great tackles, obviously picked on, but, I was very proud of the way Pete went.
He caused them some problems in attack too when he was getting out for a few darts here and there.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've seen his full repertoire yet. He's got a really good dummy. He's got some speed. He did get out, but I think there's a lot more that we haven't seen from Pete.
It's time for the big time this week, mate. The championship rounds are certainly on. Looking forward to coming up against Panthers.
Yeah, it should be a great game. Obviously they got it over us the last game, but, we're quick learners, and I'm sure we'll turn that around. That's
a good call, and, we can just hope that the officials can get a sort of even share of penalties, etc., to make it, an even sort of game, because I think that made a massive difference in the last game that we played.
Oh, for sure. I think it was 11-2 penalty count. And, when one of the top sides getting that much ball, they're going to, somehow break us down. But, even penalty count this week would be great.
Yeah, and I just hear a little bit of vibe from Penrith, and you hear in an interview here and there that, Souths are a good team, but we know how to beat them. Well, that's good. I'm glad they know how to beat them. They'll have to work it out on Saturday night because we've got a few plans in place that might help us too.
Yeah, I'm sure, Wayne and the coaching staff will come up with a great game plan this week, and I'm just looking forward to seeing them. Very excited, and can't wait to see the boys in action.
Yeah, and as should all the members and all the fans and everyone involved back home in Sydney. As I say every week, I realise how tough it is down there, but as again on the weekend, we promise we're going to give you good performances to watch. Our young guys did it, and I know our senior players and our top squad will do it this week. You'll be proud of us on Saturday night, I can assure you that. See you next week, Sut.
See you, Marcus.
Here's what you need to know about our qualifying finals clash against the Penrith Panthers. Proudly brought to you by whatif.com, proud travel partner of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Amp up your at-home 2021 finals experience thanks to the Rabbitohs and What If. Each week of the finals, we'll be giving away one major prize, including a $250 What If voucher, a $200 food and beverage package, and a 2021 signed jersey. Plus $50 What If vouchers to 5 runners-up. Enter now at rabbitohs.com.au/whatif-finals. Here are some quick facts to watch out for before we take on the Panthers. Not since round 7, 2019 have the Rabbitohs beaten Penrith. But more importantly, it's been the big games where the Panthers have come out on top. South Sydney won't need any further reminder of what happened during last year's final series, let alone 3 weeks ago, when South Sydney fought for every inch against the Panthers at Suncorp. It's a new year and a new competition. Expect plenty of fireworks. South Sydney have claimed a top 4 spot 7 times in the past 10 seasons, yet have only managed to win the first week of the finals twice during that time, in 2013 and 2014. History tells us that the team who can win the first game of the finals will go a long way to securing a spot in the big dance. It's been a year full of 4-pointers for our winger Alex Johnston. Despite missing a handful of games predominantly through injury, AJ needs just 3 tries to reach 30 for the season. If he can keep his rich vein of form up, AJ will break the record for the most 4-pointers in a season that was set by Les Brennan in 1954. Panthers winger Brian To'o has come back with a bang over the past fortnight, picking up exactly where he left off. Last week, he topped Penrith's running meters, tackle breaks, post-contact meters, line breaks, and tries. There's plenty of talent across the park for the Panthers, but if South Sydney can contain To'o, then they're well on track. South Sydney's historians have been working overtime this year, and they were forced into rewriting the record books again last week when the club clocked up their 20th win for the year, the most wins in a season by any other first-grade team in South's history. Come Saturday night, they'll be looking to keep the historians busy once again by extending that number to 21. Remember, members get 15% off select hotels through whatif.com/Rabbitohs. Use promo code Rabbitohs15 to enjoy these exclusive benefits.
Ten straight wins. South Spirits were at an all-time high on the Gold Coast ahead of their biggest test in months, the Penrith Panthers.
Look, we've been battling to get ourselves back on track after they beat us so comprehensively last time. So we haven't thought too much about trick shots or smart plays. We just try to get back to the basics and do them well. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think this will be a real challenge for us. We had one against Parramatta where we played some really good footy as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be the biggest challenge of the year so far.
I suppose one of the things we spoke about in that game was going into a game with a defensive mindset. I think from that game on, we've certainly improved in that area. And just getting a bit of confidence out of tonight. That's our main focus. We need to work on our own game. We're still not up to scratch with our D, and we know that we need to be better tonight against Penrith. They've got striking weapons all over the field, so it makes for a good game.
With under 6 weeks to go in the competition, for yourself, coaching this foundation club, have you got an eye on the premiership?
Well, I've got an eye on getting in that top four, which we've managed to do, and now it's pretty tough in those top teams, Penrith and the Storm. So I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm just trying to make sure we're playing good each week, and we're doing that with a chance.
South's attack is the second best in the NRL in the last 15 years. The only team better, this year's Melbourne Storm outfit. This is a beauty in Friday night footy. Inside the 10, Cook with Scurry, Walker, Gagai, yes, he's going to score the try. Now Reynolds. It's a 40-20.
It sure is.
It's a 40-20. Talk about precision kicking. They are right under it here. Kaloamatangi, Mitchell. There's another one. At the line, Crichton, good hands. Martin, Momorovsky, tips over the top. No way! That did not just happen. Cleary from touch. It's just across the face, but that is a brilliant 40 minutes of footy. It's come out, and Penrith have got a scramble here now. Great chance for South. Oh, the whistle. What have we got here?
It's on the 40. Oh, that's the same thing. It's like the 10. Mate, he doesn't knock it on, he doesn't get involved. I've explained the law of the game. You've got to accept it.
This was 12-0 early on. And the full-time score, Panthers 25. They're back. They've beaten the Rabbitohs 12.
Do you sometimes feel, Wayne, that you can beat a team like that once? It's better to beat them once in a final than beat them twice in a season?
Well, we just got to go back and look at a few things. Lots of good things we did there tonight, so it was a lot better than Dubbo. Okay, so we've come that far. We just got a few more things we got to fix up a little bit, but they shouldn't. We've been pretty consistent with some of the stuff that we fell apart a little bit on the night, but so it shouldn't be too hard for us to get that right.
Very kind of strange game to watch. Very good. It was a good, entertaining game to watch, but it was very kind of strange. Lots of different turning points in it.
The way we come out, also, we were really good, but we lost momentum. But defensively, they had all the ball, and field position, and
it was a tough game, and we were on top. And you can blame the ref. I think there was a bit of influence. I don't think it was deliberate.
I was pretty happy with that. I thought it was probably the best losing outcome we could have had, especially with the penalty count. I thought we gave it a good chance, but we fell a little bit short.
One area that everyone's been critical of the team's been their defence, and they showed that they can actually match it with the best defensively.
Should have had them in the long run, but never mind. We'll beat them in where it counts in the end.
With South Sydney Street coming to a halt, the attention now turned to the Sydney Roosters. With Cameron Murray and Jai Arrow's 100th games in sight, motivation wouldn't be hard to find.
We got the call from JD and Wayne. They asked me to come. I sort of couldn't wait and wanted to get down as soon as possible. And one thing, I suppose Wayne was a young 20-year-old kid who, at the Broncos, he gave me a chance and an opportunity to play NRL to be a part of my first one, and then also give me my 100th chance to play NRL.
It kind of just hit home a bit about how much it means to me and how special this club is to me, and how much I just love playing with this group of boys. If I thought back 10, 15 years ago as a kid and thought what my dream was and where I want to be, I'm standing exactly where I want to be. So I guess this year and from now on in, I'm just trying to make good choices and put my best foot forward and do everything I can to make this team successful, because we're on the cusp of greatness. So tonight's no different. I'm going to go out there and do my best and root for you lads.
And of course the foundation clubs come together again. Been around since 1908. I think the trouble started when the people who made this planet put the South Sydney and eastern suburbs border next to one another. Here's Walker again to the line, goes out for the sweep. Gagai gets it away, Johnston scores, try 25 for the year. Right in front of the uprights, 5 out, Nichols gets it there. Across the face of Mario, he's got a double. Keep going, you'll have the 20.
Now right between those two ears at the moment, he's doing backflips.
As Mitchell floats the ball to Paulo, and Paulo turned it back inside for Mitchell. Manu looking to break free, leaves it behind hoping. Walker tried to put it on the boot.
Latrell is going to come back and penalise you, okay, for high contact. No. Hey, Joey.
Look out in the bin.
He's gone to the bin, but that's only the first chapter. Pass, Graham on to Paulo. And here's Johnston. He looks like he's got the treble. He got 5 in this game last year. Now he's got a treble this year. Gone past the half century. And they win 54-12.
Latrell shaking hands with several former teammates. Some of these blokes would have been too young when Latrell was there, and Tedesco gave him a knowing shake and said, okay, what's all fair's in love and war, and best of luck. But Latrell's got a very nervous 24 hours in front of him. No one likes to see what happened out there tonight, but as I said, it's out of my control now, and we'll see what happens. It's all emotion, isn't it? The moment gets to them. It's about being disciplined enough not to let that happen, but I'm sure they get to write another chapter in the book of feuds between the Roosters and South Sydney. And he's a huge player for us, but we didn't have him last year in the playoffs. I think we're a better team than we were last year, and we're pretty good at getting other players to play well for us and put them in key positions, and that's what we're going to have to find if that happens, as you've suggested. So we've won a lot of games this year with a lot of players missing. Latrell missed a month of football earlier in the season. He missed one after the Origin. Our greatest strength this year has been our squad, and I'll just have to go back and rely on the squad to get this job done.
Rugby league's a tough game and a tough sport, and you get those players that play on the edge and that, and it just takes something, just the slightest little bit of mistiming and it can go wrong.
I think, the tackle was unfortunate, but I think he was kind of a bit of a victim of the media then. As soon as it happened, they'd already decided that he shouldn't be playing again.
Obviously, it wasn't intentional. It's unfortunate, and feel bad for what happened to Joey Manu. You don't want to see those sort of injuries happen to players.
These things, they just happen in rugby league. These things just happen, so you just got to try and move on with it.
Oh, it's happened. We've moved past it. We're looking forward. Obviously, we can't look back now. We've got a pretty important week in front of us. Obviously, we've got to get things right. There's only one game to go before the semis, so our focus is there.
We've got good players all across the paddock. Brilliant players across the paddock. Latrell's only one man, and I think Taffy will handle all this job, mate, I tell you.
With another long regular season coming to a close and third spot cemented for South Sydney, Wayne Bennett would give the club's next generation some time to shine. While fan favourite Mark Nichols would be given the reins for the first time in his career.
The talking point, the GOAT, Mark Nichols, is captain. That's the big tick in the box for him.
It's quite funny, like the rise of Mark Nichols, like a lot, I remember when we first signed him, there was no fanfare or anything, and, he's just gone about and done his job, and he just keeps getting better, and now it's like a cult following all of a sudden, like within this year, like the fans just absolutely love him.
I mean, he's been great all year. He just Mr. Consistency, he just keeps punching up and getting the yards for us, and he's great. He just, rarely makes a mistake, does everything right. You need one of those in every team.
He'd be a great, calm, cool and collected captain that the young fellas to look up to.
But it's a great achievement for him, that, he can, once he retires, he can turn around and say, not only did he play for this great club, but he actually captained them.
So we all know forwards. They do the tough carries, get line speed, east-west, kick pressure. I mean, halfbacks are smart. But if you look back at the past 2 decades of this club, the most inspirational leaders, Sam Burgess, OG GOAT John Sutton, Big Bad Brian Fletcher. They're all forwards. It's about time this team had a forward as a skipper. There's no better than a forward who scored a double last year. In all seriousness, boys, play with effort, do your job, have fun, and we'll get the 2 competition.
And Lachlan Ilias would be the latest added to the list of South Sydney debutants, with the latter wasting no time getting his name on the scoring sheet.
To put this on is honestly, it's a dream come true. I'm just so grateful to go out there tonight and finally the boys. I love you boys, and honestly I wouldn't have it any other way to go there with you tonight, and I hope I do you boys proud.
Again, they're going to attack this left side. Ilias, Ravaloa makes a mess of it. It's a try! The kid scores a Oh, there's a knock on, and here's trouble. Campbell Graham. Oh, they're not going to stop him. He's over.
We're going to celebrate.
Get involved here. That's a 40-20. It has gone in. It's gone in from Marshall. Now here it is. Ilias, that's beautiful. Tap away. It's a try. Oh, smooth as silk.
Fans, everyone here up in the Sunshine Coast. Good win from the young fellas here to sign off the season. Everyone back in Sydney thinking of his back home. Hope he's doing all right in the lockdown. Here come the finals, baby. Let's go! Woo!
They've had a wonderful season, and they've done a lot of things that good teams do, and they've been a very good team. To think that we've only lost 4 games in a season, it's certainly the best season I've coached in. I don't think I've had that many wins in my whole career, so we've only been beaten by the 2 top teams, Melbourne and Penrith. So that lays in front of us now, what we can do in this next month.
It's great to give these guys, just before finals, a crack, because look, you don't know what's going to happen in finals. It's a different game.
Blake Taff is a very talented young player. Labros boy, you watch him, buddy. He's got quick speed off the mark, step any leg, and footy brain in him. He's Kevin Longbottom's great nephew.
Cody and Adam and Cameron Murray, they're all so important to our team, and they hold a lot of our structure together. They can win us games on their own as well.
We've got an advantage with so many Queensland Rabbitohs fans turning up and members. So they're doing us proud, actually, those members. And this is the finals where the rugby hits the road, and we're top 4. So bring it on.
So here we are again, another top 4 finish against a top 4 opponent. A new year and a new competition, another chapter on the road to 22. South Sydney marches on.